We have officially made it to a year, just over in fact. Gerard is 13, going on 14 months next week. He is 19-ish pounds. He's pretty small, like in terms of percentage. He's like 5th percentile, but he has been his whole life. And he's super chunky and healthy in like looking at him though. You wanna say hi? Hello, baby. Hello, my 13-month dude. He's in size 3 diaper, 12-month clothes. He does 2 naps a day, like a 10-ish a.m. and a 2:33 p.m. His first nap is about 2 hours and his second nap's about 45 minutes, more of like a cat nap. And then bedtime's usually around 7:30. We are actually though about at the point where we potentially are gonna move to 1 nap a day. One, because he's starting to fight the second nap, and when he does that, then he's not going to bed till like 8:30, which in a normal world could be fine, except for that our other kids are all going to sleep at 7-ish. So it's just, I don't like the 2 different bedtimes so much later. And then also with school pickup, his second nap is like right around that same time. So then he's either going to bed right before I have to leave for school pickup and then I have to wake him up and he's cranky, or I'm putting him down after school pickup, which is like 4, and then it's like way too late of a nap. So we may start to creep into 1 nap a day, but the problem is when he has only 1 nap a day, he is cranky. He's just not ready to skip that second nap yet, even though timing wise we're getting close because like as I just said. So on days where we have to, he's going to bed at 6, starting bedtime at 5:30 and then asleep by 6. And those are basically the days that we have school pickup, which is 2 to 3 times a week. And then right now, at nighttime, he pretty much is going down at like 7:30-ish, I said, and then he'll wake up around 10:30 and doesn't want to go back down, and he wants to be held all night still, and he's still waking up 3 to 4 times a night and still wants to nurse and is a cranky, and basically 1 year later we're still sleep deprived. I'm still very sleep deprived. Feel like I'm living the newborn life still at 13 months. So I am really hoping that that changes very soon. He's got 7 teeth. He loves food, all kinds of food. He's constantly stealing everybody else's food. He still nurses about 3 times a day, like before each nap. I guess in the morning too, so maybe 4 times a day. And he's still nursing at night too, so there's that. He's a very sweet kid, super sweet, super cute, very strong-willed. Has excellent mobility. He is, as you know, he walked really early, like in that 8th month, and he has been walking, running, climbing, kicking a ball, throwing a ball. He's just very, very mobile. And then activity-wise, I wanted to share a few of those with you today to give you some ideas if you have a kiddo this age. I wanted to share some activities that might help keep them entertained. At this age, one of kids' favorite things to do is what's called posting, the action of taking an object and putting it through a hole or opening. If you have a kid this age, maybe you've noticed that. So a lot of these first suggestions are going to have to do with that. And these are also usually really good to satisfy those fine motor precision skills, the coordination, the containing that they really love, the finger dexterity. A lot of these activities are going to require persistence and two-handed coordination. So these are really good for this stage of learning. First off is a marker pull off the cap. So I always wait until we have some dried markers, and then, you know, that my other kids maybe have let dry out, and then just the act of taking a marker cap off and then fitting it back into that hole. Another good thing is the ring stacker here. This is a more advanced version where the dowel actually can move back and forth, so they have to make sure they're placing it, but just the typical regular standard one works too. We have this hedgehog toy where you put the little hedgehog spike into a hole. This playground toy does the same thing. The carrot drop toy does the same thing. You've probably seen the coin drops, the typical Montessori tool. And then this thing here where he's putting the medicine dropper into a toy, same thing there. That little posting skill is so big at this age. Another really good thing for this age is anything Pop It. If you have one of those Pop It toys, like little sensory things, they love that. The Pop It books are really perfect, and that helps them get some page turning experience too, which they really start liking at this age. And then another kind of fine motor thing, this is just tape on our wall, like washi tape, but you could also do it with Post-it notes and just put a bunch on the wall, and then you can have them go one by one and take it off and hand it to you. And then if they want to, they could even kind of practice putting it back on, but mine really loves that activity as well. Another fun thing you've probably noticed that's happening at this age is their language is expanding. I know at least mine is saying multiple words other than, you know, yes, no, mom, dad. He has several words that he's saying, which is really exciting. And with that comes cognitive awareness and the ability to see what things are and how they're supposed to be used, which means that pretend play is coming into effect. So some of the things we really like at our house are he will get like a little baby phone or a banana or something, you know, to use his ear, and he talks on the phone. He pretends to talk on the phone. He also really likes to pretend feed. He will get some of the play kitchen food and like put it up to my mouth or my husband's mouth, and he makes that sound as he's like putting it next to your mouth. So pretend feeding. And then also he really likes taking two guys, like one in each hand, and he'll like pretend talk to them. So the initial stages of that pretend play are also another good thing for this age. Sensory awareness and cause and effect play, along with some fine motor coordination, are also in things like tearing of tissue paper. So whenever I'm doing like a craft with my older kid, I will give a little craft paper, like tissue paper, the one that's really easy to rip, to Gerard, the 13-month-old, and let him just tear and rip, and he loves doing that. And if you're okay with it, if you have like a tissue box that's really low on tissues or something, or if you're okay with just wasting a box of tissues, letting them pull the tissues out and then rip that up, that's another thing that, again, he is really, really into right now and really great for this age. Next up would be a ball drop. That helps with object permanence, tracking, bilateral movement, problem solving, so many different things. Bilateral movement, because a lot of times when they're doing that, they are kind of sitting and doing it, but they're standing up, they're squatting down to see it, they are sitting down and to standing, and all those things. The coordination of the foot movement and the hand movement is so good for them, more than just, you know, dropping and tracking. They're working on so many more things than you would think. And with that, also kind of like this one, is the race car trackers, you know, those little ones that you've seen. Those are also super good for this age, and they help with even depth perception as well. So really good for this age. Next up is some problem solving, and that would be a really good example that my son likes right now is the circle puzzles, the ones where you have all the same shape, but they are different sizes. And so you kind of have to problem solve and figure out where those go. Usually you don't see more than like 4 or 5 of those at a time because you don't want it to be too overwhelming. It's like an initial first puzzle type situation. Next up would be just to kind of do the things that kids do, like run around, turn on music and dance, run around screaming, like playing chase. My kids like just do that, and he just screams as loud as he can and, you know, joins right in. He loves doing that right now. And then also a pickler triangle could be really good for this age. My son really loves doing that right now, and sliding. All those gross motor things are perfect for this age. Also at this age, we are very into peekaboo right now, but more like advanced peekaboo, not just like where you do, you know, this, like sitting there, but more like I will be, you know, squatted down on the floor with him behind a chair, and I'll stick my head out of one side and then I'll go to the other, or all the way like around a counter. You stick your head out at one side and then you run around it and you go to the other side. So movement peekaboo, and more advanced peekaboo, I guess, call it. And then finally, something like a pull or a push toy is something that at least mine is super into right now. If we go out on a walk, he wants to have a toy in his hand to either push or pull along. Oh, hi, baby. And so yeah, that's another kind of idea on an activity. All right, that is all for today. Hope this video gives you some ideas for a little playtime with those 12 to 15 month olds who are in this kind of same developmental stage. And I will see you next time. Bye.